Thank you, everyone. Obviously, this is a big day for myself. 10 years in Montreal with a lot of great memories, and it'll always be, memories that I'll always, be proud of. Montreal is a special place, and I'll always make sure I make the time to go back, and hopefully, everyone in Montreal feels the same way. But I feel like I built a lot of friends and relationships in the city that I'll cherish forever. However, I'm very excited to be in Vegas. This is a new chapter of my life, and I'm ready to be a part of something that's they're building here in Vegas, which is very special. So I'm honored to be here.
Patrick Friolet from RDS. Obviously, Max, how would you describe the last few hours, the last few days, the roller coaster of emotions, I guess, for you?
I think there's been a build-up of emotions. It's not to say that we all knew that this was going to happen, but there was a good chance, and so I was getting ready for this moment. As soon as I found out it was Vegas, where I was going, and that I was going to sign a new contract. I had done the research before. I'm very close with a couple of guys on the team. Paul Snasny is obviously a new player here, so we're looking forward to going through the new experience together. That being said, my emotions are excitement to be a part of this group. I know Gerard Gallant, I know Turk very well. He's a big reason why this team's had a lot of success. Also the professionalism of him and the players of sticking together, and I saw they mentioned that there's going to be 23 captains on this team this year, and I could feel that today with the energy in the room and the camaraderie of the guys, so I'm just excited to be a part of that.
Chris Matthews, KLAS TV here in Vegas. Welcome, Max. Can you tell me, you mentioned you did your research.
Yeah.
Kind of what was that research, and what did it tell you about maybe the city, the organization, the whole experience?
When the best way to put it was if I had got taken by Vegas in the expansion draft, I wouldn't be feeling the way I am today. I think everyone had a lot of question marks about what this franchise was going to be like. Everyone thinks of Las Vegas as what it is on the Strip, and nobody knew if this was going to turn into a hockey town. We played here late in the season last year, and before we played here, friends around the league, they were reaching out and talking about the experience and how the game experience, where the families live, how they're treated. And until I saw it from my own eyes, I didn't really believe it. And when we came here and we played them, I'm not sure exactly what I said after the game, but it was something along the lines of it was one of the most amazing hockey experiences of my life. And so in terms of on the ice and the way the team plays, they play a fast game. They're all on the same page every single night, and they play for each other. That's something that I'm looking forward to. But in terms of family and living, I have 3 kids with a 4th on the way. So it's very important for my family to be comfortable and doing the research as to where the guys live, the schools, the setup. It seems as if this is second to none, and it's a first-class organization that I'm proud to be a part of, and they've already welcomed me with open arms, and I'm thankful for that.
Chris Chapman, Fox Sports Radio. We spoke in February, and your quote to me was, "I know their coach over there. I know how good of a coach and a human being he is, and it looks like they're just playing for him, working every night." When you have those feelings about a coach like Coach Gallant, how easy is it for you to want to be here and really waste no time signing that extension?
I talked to Turk right before, along with George and others, but I feel I have the opportunity right now to just take out my brain and go play hockey, get back to what I loved doing as a kid, and that's just going out there and having fun and playing hockey. I know what Turk brings. I know he knows when to be hard on people, and when he is, you listen because he knows what he's talking about. That being said, he's someone that I trust very well. And I know that if I go out there and I just do the right things, that he's going to, not just reward me, but everyone has that mentality, I think, here, from what I've seen, that they're all on the same page and they all believe their coach. And you don't see that too often, especially in professional sports, not just hockey, I think all sports.
Hi, Max. Mathieu Boulay from Le Journal de Montréal. I want to know, Marc Bergevin told us earlier this week about you asking a trade since last year. Is that a fact or is that a fiction?
I think in discussions like that, things can get interpreted in different ways, sorry. That being said, I have nothing but respect for the Montreal Canadiens. Playing 10 years there, I would have been willing to sign an extension at the end. That being said, this is a new chapter in my life that I feel mutually myself and the organization were ready for. I think they're going in a direction of, a little bit of a rebuild or a reset, and I'm ready to move on to something new, and I'm very excited that this is where that next chapter is going to be.
Max, Willie Ramirez with the Associated Press. You mentioned it with your research and talking to people and where they lived. George McPhee said that there was a window to get the deal done, and it wasn't going to get done unless there was the contract, the extension, the years. Was wherever you were going, were you adamant on the length, or was it when it came to Vegas, you wanted that long-term deal?
You go in that process, and I think you expect something, and then once the negotiations start, you just your expectations just kind of get thrown out the window. Right now, I know I'm in a position where I'll be put in a position to succeed. This is a team that had a lot of success last year. As I spoke to George and Turk on the phone in that window, they reiterated that this is a team that wants to win, and I'm going to be a big part of that. So I'm not someone that's just chasing the dollars. You see longer deals than a 4-year deal. I just want to be a part of this team right now, and that seemed like the best option to get it done for both sides. And so right now, 5 years is a good place to be in my mind and in this organization.
Jesse Granger with Las Vegas Sun. How's it going, Max?
Good, how are you?
Good. Obviously, it's an honor to be the captain in Montreal, but it can also be a burden, especially with the way last season went. Is it kind of a weight off your shoulders coming here, not having to worry about that and just being able to play your game? And do you think your game can improve because of it?
I do think my game can improve because of it, but I don't want to take away from that accomplishment, because it is something that I will forever be grateful for. I think it was a tremendous honor for me to be the captain of especially that franchise, given the history and the players that have worn the C in that franchise. That being said, I couldn't think of a better situation to be in, coming off of a down year for myself personally, for the team. Obviously, it's no secret that catching a lot of heat there for the season and taking responsibility for that. As I came here, the quote I heard was, "There's 23 captains," and I couldn't put it better myself. This is the situation I want to be in. I want to worry about playing hockey. There's a lot of strong character in that room. I saw it today. I've heard about it, throughout all of last season, throughout what we talked about, the research process that I went through, and right from the second I came in this room, I felt like a part of it. Today was a little bit weird putting on the gear. It's something that I haven't done, like I said, in 10 years, put on different gear. But as you might have noticed, everyone was joking around with me and coming up to me, and it's really a special group, and you saw that last year, and that's a big reason why they had so much success, I feel.
Sheng Bang Hockey Buzz. Sorry about that. There are reports that you and Paul were thinking about maybe teaming up in Montreal when he was a free agent earlier this summer. Were those reports true? And also, too, how do you think you and Paul will fit together, assuming or if you guys do play together?
Yeah, no, that wasn't the idea for him. I don't think he had many discussions with Montreal. I don't know how much I can disclose. I think when he was going through the free agent process, I was speaking to him as a friend, and obviously I had no idea that I was going to end up here. But when we had spoken, we both, as I said, players in the league talk, and we both have heard the same thing about this organization. We all know what we saw and the way that they played and the results that they had. But we had heard, about the way they treat the players, the families, the coaches. And so when he told me that Vegas was in the mix, I think I read about it 30 minutes later that he had signed there. So it's amazing what they've done here, and this has been a place where you can get top free agents after 1 year in the league. It says a lot about the way they do things here. And in terms of my situation, once he had signed here and he saw, trade rumors and potential destinations, we had spoken many times about how great it would be if I did end up here. And ultimately, I had to sign an extension to be here. And there were many reasons why I wanted to sign that extension, but Paul Stastny was definitely one of them.
Max, you said earlier that sometimes discussion can be interpreted different ways. Obviously, you don't want to get into too much detail, but do you feel that the Canadians felt that you wanted a change, you wanted to exit Montreal?
I'm not sure. You mentioned what they had said, but I'm not sure. I know that I'm happy with where I'm at right now. Whether they felt that or they felt that they just need to move in a different direction, that's not for me to answer. I just do know that throughout the process there were a lot of emotions for myself and my family. I mentioned my kids, and another one on the way. You want to have a lot of stability, especially with a pregnant wife, with 3 kids running around at home, 3 boys. So the goal now, getting traded late, the goal now is for me to find a place and get some stability for my family and get schools set up and get them out here as soon as possible. So I can't answer their side of it, but for me, obviously it happened late in the summer, and that makes things a little bit. I'll be running around here a little bit, but I'm just thankful that this is where it's at, and the team has supplied me with all the resources to make that happen as soon as possible.
In the middle, Nick Kotz, Nick at NHL.com. I know you've been teammates with Paul. How much have you been line mates? How do you work together well on the ice? And have you talked to Gallant? Will you play with Paul? Yeah,
every time we play for Team USA, we are line mates. Our wives are friends. Our parents are friends. We're friends. We do have chemistry. He's a very reliable center who takes care of his end, slows down the game, more of a give-and-go player. That's kind of what I'm drawn to him, why I like playing with him a lot. That being said, there's a lot of good players on this roster, so as you know, in Montreal and a lot of teams, lines change a lot often and quickly. So I'm not expecting, things to be perfect every single day. But just to come in and know that you had previous chemistry with another player and that's always an option is a comforting feeling. And also knowing that we're going through the process of being new players in an organization together is another comforting feeling.
Hey, Max. Gary Lawless, Vegas Golden Knights. What was it like coming into the building today?
I came in late last night at 11, and I haven't really slept in 3 days. And I woke up this morning around 4:30, and I was just wandering around here at 5 in the morning and came in the rink, and, the guy downstairs in front said, "Do you want to go see the room?" And he recognized me. I said, "Sure." So I was in the room at 5:30 just looking around and went back to my hotel room and then came back later around 8 or 8:30, and I'm just completely blown away. And just like when I came, when we played here, I think in February, they just do everything the right way. And I think when I had talked to George, I never heard him say it, but I got the feeling that that's what they did when they were looking for staff and for how to build the rink and how to put together this organization. I feel like their goal was to go out and seek the best in every department and make a dream team. And you see it here with the facility, the locker room. There's nothing missing. It's got to be the best I've seen. The trainers and the equipment and the staff, I think they had that same approach. And that also trickles down into the players. And I think it's a big reason why they gel so well as players as well.
Hey Max, Jason Pothio, Simbin.Vegas. One of the things you told us in February is imagine this place in the playoffs. From afar, how did it look, and how exciting is it to possibly be on one of those runs?
Yeah, it's really cool because that window when I had to agree upon an extension. My kids are old enough to kind of know what's going on, and they said, "What team are you going to?" And I said Vegas. And so I mentioned before that he went up to his bed sheets and he's got all the teams on his bed sheets. He's like, which one's Vegas? And the sheets were old, so they didn't have Vegas. I said, no, it's not that team. It's the team with the show in the playoffs. And he's like, oh my God, he couldn't believe it. So we went on YouTube, we put in the show, and it was always the playoff shows. It was, the Imagine Dragons playing before the team comes out. It was, the shows, the ceremony before each round. And it's just, I feel that this organization has changed the game. You're going to see a lot of teams copying what they do in terms of in-game production and that. And as I mentioned when I came here, this experience was amazing, but I couldn't imagine being on the other side of it. And now that I am, I'm really looking forward to it.
Hello, Max. Jacques Thériault from 98.5 Radio Montreal. Max, 6 years ago, you worked with Coach Galland. He was assistant of Michel Therrien. If I remember correctly, he was in charge of the power play. What did he bring specifically to your game this year, the year you worked with Coach Galland?
I think, not to take away from his hockey knowledge, but what Turk brings most to to a team is his character. The way he speaks to people, the way he listens to people, and his honesty. And power play is definitely X's and O's, and we had a lot of success with him. That being said, he gives you confidence with the way he talks to you, with his honesty, with his approach of, giving you opportunities to make mistakes and learn from them. So I don't want to take away his hockey knowledge at all, but I think his most valuable asset, whether it be on power play or as a head coach, is his approach to coaching and how he treats his players, his staff, and really everyone around here. And I said it before, I think it's a huge reason why they've had a lot of success last year, and we hope to keep that success with Turk. Yeah.
Max, our fans are watching and listening on Facebook Live, and Christina would like to know, what are you most looking forward to about playing in Vegas?
Right now, it's that first game. It's I put on the gear today, and it was special. But that first game is going to be. Hopefully, I get my family here, my parents. I have a lot of family in California, so hopefully we can get them out too. It's going to be really special, to go out there for that first game. And right now, that's what I'm most looking forward to.
Max, you mentioned that you were showing your kids the videos of the pregame and so forth. There's such a misconception, as you mentioned, they think it's the Strip. What was your wife's first impression when you mentioned Vegas?
I got to be honest. She was worried about the kids in the schools, and as soon as I left the rink, I still had goosebumps. I was all fired up after we played them, and I said, if I have a free agent, we gotta come here. This place is unbelievable. And she's like, it's crazy there, the Strip, it's not good for kids, and it's just crazy how we have this misconception of we don't know what the reality is, so we just assume, you're living in a casino. But I know Flower very well. I train with him in the summer. His wife was speaking to my wife and told us about, how great the living is here, how great the communities are, the schools, the people, and we trust them. And as soon as I got here and heard from everyone else as well, it made her feel a lot better. She's very, very, very excited to come here, and she's very excited to to bring the kids here and start this chapter of our life.
Amber Dixon, KSNV. My question is very similar to Chris's, though. Was there a particular aspect of Las Vegas that you thought, wow, this really does cater to families?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's everything combined, but I think when we heard about the schools and the living out here, especially in Summerlin, I think a lot of the players live out here or in the suburbs, and just knowing that there are a lot of businesses out here, and there are a lot of people that are similar to myself growing up on the East Coast, my wife growing up in Florida. It just so happened that once the trade happened, so many people were reaching out. I have family that lives there. You're gonna love it. It's very family friendly. The schools are great. The communities are great for living. So haven't heard one bad thing, and that makes us very comfortable knowing that we're going to spend some time here with our family and our kids now.
Max, to what level is the date of November 10 in the back of your mind?
It's going to be fun. It'll be emotional, but it'll be fun. I'm happy it's early enough in the year where we can get it out of the way and move forward, but it'll be fun to go into the Bell Center wearing the shield.